Welcome to the tour of Manipulatives with me, Rebecca Platt. So our first idea is rocks at the fire pit. So as you can see, I've made a bowl here. I put some fire on it, and I've taken shopping bags and wrapped them up with a little bit of tape so that children can throw them without them being dangerous. Every child in the class will get one, and they'll stand at a distance, throw the rock in, and it'll represent a math problem. All of the ones that land on the outside of the bowl are subtracted from the number that we started out with, and we do this as a class to see how many rocks made it in and how many rocks made it out, and we'll make our math equation. Our next idea is dice in the dark. So we have black construction paper, and we're going to shake the dice, and I rolled a 1 plus or minus, whatever your class is working on, 5 equals, and the students will write their answer. And then you can keep going until all the skills have been learned and practiced in your class. Our next idea is clothespin number line. So if you'll focus in kind of tight here, you can see that I have starting at 0 in the middle, and then I have all of the negatives on one side, all of the positives on another, and our problem is here. So students can manipulate these, move them. It's just kind of fun to have in the classroom, something that moves and represents fluid numbers. And then we have the fraction apple, which I've already cut into quarters, and I've made some math facts here. So as you're lecturing, you can hold the apple together with a rubber band, and to represent the half, you can take the rubber band off, hold the two pieces together for the half, and then for the quarters, you can lay them out. And then the students get a good representation of what whole, half, and quarters look like for fractions. Our next activity is cards and pipe cleaners. So I've taken playing cards and I've placed them over and under like a typical addition problem. These are movable, so the students can move these as they wish, however they are most comfortable doing their math problem, or if they need to do minuses. And then when they have come up with their answer, they form their answer out of pipe cleaners, which is a little bit fun. And then for our multiples, we have candy jars. We can make this a plus sign. We can make it a multiplication sign, or we can make it a minus. And we have our equals over here. These are just sponges. So for the multiplication problem, we're going to leave it as an X. We're going to put 3 pieces of candy in one jar, 3 pieces in another, and then the students will do the equation and answer the question as a class. And now we have superhero math. As you can see, I've got some pop vinyls here. I think it's a good idea to have students bring in some of their favorite characters or toys and use them in the classroom to keep their attention. It's also fun for the other students to see what their classmates are into and learn about one another in that way. So encourage them to bring in items to use as manipulatives in their math class. As you can see, I have a question here. If Mystique and Black Widow had 4 Minecraft blocks, because you know the kids are into Minecraft right now, so if they had 4 Minecraft blocks and gave 2 of them to RoboCop, who's over here, how many are left? So just kind of cool to tell a story with toys and keep them interested with items that they like to play with. So come on in here in my kitchen. The next one I have is Play-Doh math. So right here on the corner you can see I have pieces of Play-Doh in little balls, which are fun for the kids to do. So what you'll do is give them a problem either up on the board or in a flashcard, and you would have them make the number that they see in the flashcard or up on the board. You would give them the sign that they need to have in the middle, whether it be plus or minus, and then the second factor in the problem with the equal sign, and then you would have them form their number answer. And if they get it wrong, they smush it up and they make another one. My next one is Mickey Mouse ears. This is fun to do at snack time because these are goldfish, and again, you can have a problem on the board or on a flashcard. You can give the kids a bowl of goldfish in the middle of the table and put a card in Mickey's face and tell them to divide goldfish into the ears that will equal this number. You can do this math problem backward or forward, and then when they're done, of course, they get to have their snack. This was a fun one that I found actually on Pinterest. I can't take credit for this one, but it's really fun. We have a flashcard here with a problem, and then we have the counting factory here. So we have buttons to represent the 4 and the 2, and I like them in different colors so the kids can see the representation there. And then one student will gather up the 4 buttons for the 4 and drop it over here, and one student will take the 2 and drop it on this side. You can see there's a plus sign in the middle and equals. So after they've dropped the number of buttons in, they're representing the problem, they'll pull all the buttons out at the end all together and count them up for their answer. The next one is called military math. So the students have multiple problems either on a dry erase board or on a piece of paper, and they'll reach inside the bucket and they'll pull out an army man and write down the number that's on his foot. So 6 would go here and 2 would go here, and they would solve the problem. And they could put them back in and redraw and keep doing problems down the paper. I think boys especially would like to do this. I think you should engage children with items that they like to play with, that captures their imagination. I understand this is probably not good for school because it has weapons and guns on it, but maybe you could cut those off or use animals. You could vary this if you wanted to. And then we have Fruit Loop multiples. I have spoons laid out, but you could have children bring in their favorite spoon. You could bring your own from home. You could use plastic spoons. You could also do this as a snack time activity where you do multiples. So if the question was, if we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 3 Fruit Loops, how many Fruit Loops would that be in all? And then the children would count all of the Fruit Loops and they would start to grasp the concept of multiplication. No snacking. And here we have gummy ring equations. So we again have playing cards here representing numbers. You can provide the sign that the children need to follow, whether it be plus or minus, and then they solve the problem by adding 2 and 2, and that would give them 7. So they would write 7 down on their answer, and then they would have snack for later. I have this one behind me, which is, I called it Clothespin Mania because it looks kind of crazy with these clothespins stuck all over the 5. It looks kind of like a porcupine. But with the flashcard, I think it's cool to have numbers. I have these switched. Cool to have the numbers with a manipulative attached to it. So then the students can take the clothespins off, and they can count the clothespins independently to come up with their answer, but they're also grasping the concept that 3 looks like 3 items, 2 looks like these 2 items, and then together they get their answer. And then my final idea, I have a chalkboard in my kitchen and I absolutely love it, is called Shake and Solve. This is one I came up with on my own. So I have a fun cup. I have a fun cup in your classroom, and I have 2 dice. So I'm going to shake them up. I shake them out on the table, and as you can see, it's 5 and 2. So if you've instructed the students to do a addition problem, they can write the problem this way and solve, or they can do a subtraction problem, or they could do a multiplication problem. It could also be a game where the child goes up in front of the classroom, and if you're doing drills like this, you can change it up every time. You can say to one child do an addition, the next child do a subtraction, the next child do a multiplication. Everyone's engaged and everyone's watching, and it's very fast-paced and fun. So everybody's going over the same concepts, the same drills, but it's done in a fun way, and one student gets to come up and shake the cup and write the problem, and so that's fun for everyone. Alright, so that's my 15 manipulative ideas. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.